Hi, I'm Karlene and welcome to my channel. I have 3 boys aged 8, 5 and 4 months. Here you will find inspiration to create a beautiful life on a budget. Please subscribe for more family-friendly food, seasonal homemaking, travel and more. Welcome to my channel. It is the lead up to Easter and I've got some fun things planned for the kids. I've decorated our dining area already. I found some really cool stuff from the reject shop. Most of that came from, and some from Big W. And I want to decorate the entry to our home, more like the front yard, like the front part of the yard as you walk up to our front door. I want to make some yummy Easter treats. I found a really cute tea towel from Bed Bath & Table. I want to make into a wall hanging. I want to do some class gifts for my kids' school friends. And I just want to make some fun memories for my children in the lead up to Easter. The main color that I'll be using for Easter is shades of purple because that is the color for Lent in the lead up to Easter Sunday. And I'm looking forward to pulling all of that together. Now it's a warm day today. It's 9 o'clock in the morning. It's already 28 degrees, so I'll see how I go painting the garden out the front. But otherwise, we might stay inside today in the air conditioning and do some baking and organizing. All right, let's get into it. I forgot to mention, I ordered some things online. I haven't even opened it yet. It's still sealed. I can't even remember everything that I've ordered, but I'm going to be opening this up and then making a plan for where everything is going to go. It's from the website, I don't even know how to pronounce it. I thought it was pronounced SHEIN. I've seen other people pronounce it SHEIN, which just doesn't sit right with me. So if you know the real pronunciation, comment below and let me know so I don't look like a dill in my next video. All right, baby's cracking it. I'm on the clock. Let's get into it. Online, I saw there were lots of Easter inspiration for front porches and entryways, and I loved the look of a layered doormat. So I tried to find something similar to what I saw. Meanwhile, like my outfit matches my tablecloth, and this whole Easter display. So I found this doormat for $34.95 off the website. I found this cute little pastel bunny ear welcome banner. I think that was $8.95. Same as this outdoor garden ornament I wanted to put by the letterbox. I found this floor mat for $8.95 to layer it. It is a bit harsh against the black and the white, but I couldn't find a neutral or like a sage green like I wanted to, so I just ordered what I could find. I ordered a pair of these cushions for $3.95 each to match the banner and the doormat, trying to keep it all like a cohesive look together. And I also got some garden ornaments. These were $3.95 each. They're just like a core flute material. And I also got some Easter earrings. These were $2.95 each, and I'm laughing at my gammy nails here because they're so bad. But I was about to head out into the garden, so I figured that was a later problem to deal with. I found these food grade molds with little Easter shapes on them too. They were $2.95. I saw something similar at Spotlight, but it was cheaper online. So this is the front garden that we want to try and update. So as you walk up to the front door, my plan is to drop some topsoil because we pulled out some spiky plants from here that were a nightmare for the kids to pass because every time you'd walk past, they'd try and poke them in the eye. So we're going to replace those with some full sun hardy plants. Hopefully they will survive our heat. it is officially autumn, but it's 28 degrees. The last time I checked anyway. So we're going to do the garden this morning while we've got some shade. Baby's up there in his bouncy chair because he just wanted to see mummy, I think, but too hot to hold on to him and a bit hard to garden with the baby strapped to you. Our soil and some mulch to help keep the moisture in. Hey baby. Hello baby. Hello baby. So I want to update the mat and I'll put those plants in, and I want to update the little Easter cushions for here. Don't mind our utility box there. I need a better solution for out here for storage, but in the meantime that'll do. I have a secret to share with you, is that these cushions are actually Christmas cushions that I just hadn't bothered to update yet. I had a baby in December, so that wasn't really a top priority. But looks like I've got some company out here. Hey. Do you know how hard it is to loosen garden soil with a garden fork that has one prong that is not like the others? I do. You know, it's funny, I've walked past this tree 1,000 times and I never noticed the sweet little toadstool stairwell that was leading up the base of the palm tree. Reminded me of something you would see in a Enid Blyton novel. You know what else I found in the garden? A Nerf bullet. These things are invincible. Hashtag boy mum. Am I right? Okay, so it's now mid-afternoon. I'm having a cup of coffee up the front with Suki. Hey, us girls are hanging out the front while the boys are inside watching a movie and baby is asleep. We had to take a break earlier because baby was hungry, then it was nap time and the boys wanted lunch, and you know how it is, it's pretty hard to get some projects done like all at once in the one day. I find it easier breaking them up into bite-sized pieces. I feel like I get more done. I got my little Easter bunny earrings on, peeled off my feral nails, and I'm ready to finish off out the front here, so it'll look really nice when hubby comes home from work, and then when the kids come out it'll be, you know, nice for them to see everything all put together. So let's get started. It's a hard life, isn't it, Suki dog? It's a hard life. So unfortunately for me, it was so hot that day that when I was recording, my camera was overheating and it stopped me from filming further footage. So I had to go in garden without filming that part. So I'm sorry that you didn't get to see me digging little holes and planting them out, but you can see the finished product here. It's been 3 days since I last filmed. I had to take a pause on outside because it was raining on and off for the last couple of days. I think we had 30 mil fall since my last video, and also I have a baby, so I think I've got maybe 5 minutes until he's due for his next nap. He's having some tummy time over there, so we're going to try and make some Easter treats while he is happy for now. Let's see how far I get. Okay, that lasted 2 seconds. Let me go put this baby down and then I'll be right back. Okay, so today what I want to make is some little sweet Easter treats for the kids. I need to refresh the little snack station that I made for the boys earlier this week with some little muffins. I just put some little cute little Easter chicks in here to make them look Eastery, but they're not Eastery at all. And I've been telling them the first day I filmed that I was going to make them chocolate nest eggs, and they've been asking for it every day that I pick them up on school, whether I've made them yet, and I just haven't had a chance. So let's get into it. A couple of recipes online. Oh my gosh, look how bad my nails are. It's been 3 days since my last video and I still haven't had time to paint my nails. Maybe I should wear gloves. So, oh, by the way, did you know that I thought these only came in little cartons, like the little mini cartons near the cash register, but they're in a bag now. I'm getting sidetracked. I think you only need one of these, but I bought 2 just in case because I feel like each one needs 3 eggs But if one's left out, I'm just going to avoid the fighting with the kids. Anyway, it said you needed around 200 grams, 225 grams of melted chocolate and to cut it up. Like, why would I do that when I could just buy one of these? So Coles and Woolies both have them. They're easy to melt, which is what we need it for. So we're pretty much going to melt together chocolate, peanut butter, and then mix in some cereals. Some of the recipes called for like crunchy egg noodles, and I don't have that. So I'm just going to use what I already have because I don't need to spend any more money on groceries this week, because do we even need to talk about grocery prices? Anyway, so this has got 250 grams in the pack, and I don't want to measure, so we're just going to use the whole thing. I don't need to dirty up anything extra that I don't need. Be gone. And we're going to zap this in 30-second spurts with some peanut butter. It did call for smooth peanut butter. I had crunchy. Ollie doesn't even like crunchy peanut butter, but we'll see if he notices the texture. And I can't even find my measuring spoons. I don't have 2 tablespoons of peanut butter. Don't worry, I washed my hands. And we're going to zap these in 30-second spurts, and we're going to whisk it in between until it's melted nicely together. Look at my poor old whisk. She's seen better days, I know, but you know what? It still works. And every time I go to get groceries, I just forget that I need one. So there you go, just poke it back in there. Good as new. Good as new. All right, I'm gonna zap this and I'll be back in 30 seconds. Okay, that's the first 30 seconds. Let's see if it's even made a bit of a dent in melting them. The ones down the bottom have. Not so much. I'm just making a mess with this whisk. Okay, if you can even call that a bit of a stir, still very clumpy, all good. There, and we'll try that again for 30 more seconds. Spoon rest. Oh, look at that. Look at that. That is melting nicely. I need to go get a spoon rest. Okay, so I've pulled it out for the microwave for the 3rd time, and you just saw me having a little giggle to myself. The lumps are not from chocolate, it's from peanut butter. So now we have to measure our dry ingredients. So it said to do around 85 to 100 of the cereal or dried noodles, whatever you want to use, whatever you have. I'm just going to measure it out, and then I'm just going to add a little bit more because I did use 250 grams of chocolate instead of what they recommended. I might do maybe half and half. Let me just check this. These have been in the pantry for a little while, so let me just check. Still country, we're good. Crunchy, not country, crunchy. Oops, there you go, it's about 50, 60 grams, and we'll do the rest with Cocoa Pops. All right, we need about another 40. Oh, okay, that's just about 110. Much in there. It doesn't look like a lot compared to how much chocolate that I have. Let me go these scales because I don't really care how much it weighs from now, because I just want to make sure that it is tacky enough to form a shape into an egg muffin, into a muffin tray, but not so runny that it just slips down the side. So I'll just add some more Cocoa Pops. What do you call them? Rice bubbles. The flavourless kind of Cocoa Pops, the boring kind, the healthy kind. Now to make cleanup easier, I'm going to go quickly run this under some hot water so it's not awful for me to clean out later, and then I'll just chuck all of my utensils in it to soak so that cleanup is a breeze. What do you call them? Rice bubbles. You know what I mean. Oh, I'm sorry. The Coles brand is Crispy Rice Pops, which is pretty much the same thing, but like half the price. Any way that you can save money on groceries, am I right? I'm just going to add a little bit more at a time until I'm happy. I'm going to add just a little bit more just to help sort of stiffen that mixture up. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to do is put them into a muffin tray, shake them into a little nest with making like a little hole in the middle, I guess, not all the way through, and then we're going to stick them in the fridge. So I haven't sprayed these because I'm thinking that being chocolate, that they're not going to stick and break. I'm hoping, I don't know, should I stick Should I do some spray and cook or something first? Oh, I'm second guessing myself. All right, I'm going to spray some. I'm going to do one row with and then the rest without. And then we'll see which way works better. Okay, let me go get my spray and cook row because I didn't want to add any more oil and fats to the sugary treat as it is. Well, how am I going to know which row I did? I'll just put this row to the back of the fridge. That's the plan. Anyway, all right, let's go. I'm just going to use an ice cream scoop to scoop in. And then I'm just going to use a teaspoon, or maybe I need to do less than a scoop. Ew. This one will be a loaded nest. Well, at least the shape of it's kind of nice. All right, this time I'm going to do a bit less than a full scoop. And we'll go from there. Oh, so that's just to the rim of it pretty much. Maybe I can get more out of it if I do it that way. So I left them in the fridge. I think it only needed maybe half an hour or so, but mine were in there for a few hours because baby was asleep. And I just spun them around and they just popped right out. And it turned out that whether I sprayed them or not, they were pretty similar in how easy they were to pull out. And then I just popped little eggs in each one. Some fit 2, some fit 3. So I'll have to brave the fighting if the boys want the one with the most chocolate. After filling our little nests up, I had some little chocolate eggs as a spare, so one packet is definitely enough to make a batch of these. The next project I want to tackle today is turning this stretchy tulle and some ribbon. Do you say tulle? Tulle and some ribbon into some pretty front door decor. I saw some ads on Pinterest and I thought I can make that. And I've got some other dark purple ribbon downstairs. I think the trick is going to be I don't want to spend a lot of time on doing it. I want to do it really quickly, but I also want the door to close after. So we'll see how I go with this. If it's going to be a fail or not, we'll see. All right, let's go downstairs and find out. Okay, we're outside and it is windy. Like I said, we've had rain for days on and off, but it stopped raining for now, so I'm out the front. And I want to make the front door look like an Easter gift with the fabric that I got from Spotlight. They had like a 50% off, up to 50% off all fabric sale, so that was great timing for me. It was like $5 a meter, $5.30 a meter. So let's see if I can get this to work how I imagine, because I don't want to be stitching, sewing, using anything else apart from a pair of scissors and just knotting it onto itself. So let's see how this works. I'm going to use all of this material. So I just googled what is the standard size of a screen door, an Australian screen door specs, and it said 800 by 2.1 or something like that. So I just went for 3.5. So it's not very, oh, it is very wide. I wouldn't say it's not very wide, but it's very wide. The material, like roll itself, is quite wide, so it'd be almost 2 meters or so. But I want it to look nice and bunched, so I might even just leave it in half. Will I? Let's have a play with it and see how it looks. The edge is quite thick compared to the main part of the material, so if I was to fold it in half, it's going to be noticeable if I just folded it in half this way. So maybe I will fold it in half to get the point and then fold it in on itself. So I'll fold the outside into the middle, so it's like that, and the outside into the middle. But the two thick lines will be in the middle of the fabric, but then once I gather that over the door, you're not going to be able to tell. That's going to be my workaround. But if it's going to be too thick that I can't shut the door, that's not going to work either. So let's have a look. So I've just realised where my math has gone wrong. So I measured the door correct, but if I was going to drape it over the front and knot it at the back so I didn't have to cut, stitch or glue anything, I would need to repeat those measurements twice for the front and the back. Obviously, I didn't think about that before, so sorry, we're gonna have to go for a plan B. But if you measure your door, double the measurements so you don't have to make, so you don't make the mistake that I made and then have to do a workaround. But either way, it's gonna work. All right, let's try it again. So to make up for the fact that I no longer have fabric that is long enough, I went inside, cut the length in half. We'll proceed to fold it into thirds in on itself, but I'll be joining it with some gift wrapping ribbon as a quick workaround because it isn't long enough now, but after, you'll see, after I've put it together from the front, you can't see that part, so it's kind of ugly from the back but pretty from the front, and it won't be noticeable until you head inside. Okay, so I've just come to the back of the door and I've just knotted it really loosely because I don't really care. If it looks a mess at the back, it doesn't worry me. And I've just measured the material from the rear side underneath, and I've just cut the ribbon in order to be able to join that together and then have a little bit extra to give as well, so if I need to tighten it or loosen it or something else doesn't go to plan, I have a bit of a buffer. Let me finish the vertical side and then I'll start on the horizontal side. I feel like it's going to need something there. I thought I ordered extra, purchased extra ribbon to make a nice bow or something. Sorry, it's out here already. And I'm puffed, isn't that sad? I just had a baby 3 months ago, guys. Give me a break, okay? Alright, I'm going to go this way, and then I might need to go raid the other garden ornaments I put by the letterbox for the center, because I feel like that would be a nicer focal point than just extra fabric and like ribbon in a bow. We'll see. Here I'm just threading it through and marking it in the middle to create a knot, and I'm trying to tie that together there. I wanted to play with doing like leaving it as it is and then putting a nice bow on, and you'll see how it ends up. Look who's awake. Didn't last very long. Hey. Alright, I'll put him down. Hopefully he's happy enough for me to keep going. Otherwise I need to stop for a milk break. I wanted to add a bit of colour and have some movement on this detail as well, so I just found some ribbon from Silly Solly's and threaded those together with the purple ribbon that was left over from our wedding stationery from like 11 years ago, 12 years ago, and I tried tying that into a nice bow, but I kind of wanted it to be bigger and more impactful, and I kind of ended up looking a bit floppy, which I didn't really love. Alright, so I raided my front yard and I pulled this guy out of the dirt, and I'm going to stick him in the middle, and I'm going to use the back of it in between those two bits of packing tape to just thread some gift wrapping tape through, and I'm just going to cut the excess bit off and we'll see if that looks better than this. In the end, I'm really happy with how this little DIY project went. It looks really nice. It cost me maybe $22, and the floor mat, like the double floor mats, cost me maybe $43. So altogether, a quick little makeover for the front door. Okay, so the next project I want to do for Easter before the kids get home. I haven't even looked at myself in the mirror after my nap, but anyway. Baby's back asleep, so I found this gorgeous tea towel at Bed Bath & Table. It was $9.99 and I got it at 30% off, but it was so beautiful. I just thought, I don't want this sort of hanging in half, and then you miss kind of like over the, the oven, what do you call it? Handle, and then all you see is that much. I want to be able to show off all of it, and since purple is the colour I really wanted to use this year to decorate with, I thought, why not make a wall hanging out of it? So I went to Bunnings and I got some wooden dowel. I can see how much, I'll check how much this one was. It wasn't much. This was 1.2 meters. I think it was Tassie oak, 8 mil thick. And I plan to use a little bit, maybe leave an inch on either side, mark it. I'll cut it here with the handsaw and just sand off the rough part. And I'm not completely sure how I'm going to attach it. I was thinking I could go to Spotlight and get some of that iron-on sort of material and then iron on strips either side and then leave a gap in the middle for the wooden dowel, but I didn't get to run to Spotlight before filming today, and it's already been 3 days, so I just want to get it done and have it hanging up on my wall. On the front door project, you saw that I had some of this purple ribbon, which it kind of got lost, so I wouldn't use thin ribbon like this for a project like that again because it's just too thin to sort of make any impact. But instead of waiting another 11 years to use that leftover ribbon from our wedding day, I'm going to use it for this. So I'm going to use that as the string to tie it up with and just do a pretty bow on each side. So that part's super easy. The hardest part, I think, for me as I'm just figuring it out as I go, because I just want to use what I have at home, and I think that's the easiest way to go, so you can do that too. Just use whatever you have at home. So I did have some leftover purple thread from, I don't know, a previous project that I had done, and I have some needles as well that I had found. These are quite large ones because I don't want to be looking so hard to try and thread that needle. I just want to make this as easy as possible. And then what I'm thinking is I'm going to use like this ribbon sort of pom-pom detailing. It's got a little bit of a lip on it so that I can attach it to that, and then just use a couple of loops of thread on either side of it. I really don't want to be too particular about it. I just want to get it done, as with most of my projects around the house. So let's see how we go. First off, I want to mark it and cut it. So I need a pen or a pen or something out of the kids' homework drawer. And I'm gonna just eyeball it. I'm not gonna take out a tape measure and make sure it's all perfect and pedantic. I don't care that much. And I'm gonna do about 1 inch on each side. I'm going to mark that, and I'm going to use hubby's handsaw, and I'm just going to cut that off. Without cutting. And it's a little bit sort of sharp and prickly, so I want to make sure that I can smooth that off. This is off of a hand, what do you call them? Hand, not a grinder, sawyer, planer, hand sander. Looks like an iron. Anything you've got around the house will do. You don't need to make it more difficult than it has to be. Be resourceful. Here's what you've got. That's fine. Okay. All done. Splinter free. Now I need to attach it to my wooden dowel. Alright, so what I'm thinking I'll do, I'm just going to snip off some of this fluff that's on the end here. I'm just going to ruffle that up to about 1 inch on either side. I'm going to get my needle, bit of thread, if you've never looped a needle before or sewn before, it doesn't need to be too hard and too scary. So what you need to do is get your needle, put your thread through the needle hole like this. The bigger the needle hole, the easier it is, which is why I picked a big one. I'm just pulling the thread all the way through until that's in half, and I'm pulling the thread tight, and I'm just going to loop it into a double knot. Yes, baby. A double knot like this. Yes. Like that. And then I'm just going to snip off the excess. Like so. So now I have my needle prepped and ready to go. Hopefully, I don't know if you can see that. Yes. Alright, so what I'm thinking is, I'm just going to go through this part of the excess ribbon here, and I'm going to sew it to itself on this seam where it's nice and chunky, so that you're not going to see the thread from the front. An alternative was to do like a, oh, I guess I could use my thick ribbon that I've got downstairs. But that's downstairs and baby's cracking it now. Is to stitch a bit of ribbon to it here, so it's got something meatier to hang from. I'm just going to see if this is going to work, and you can always do that and let me know how you go.
I ended up hanging this in my entryway and it makes me so happy every time I see it.
The next thing that I want to make is some Easter gifts for the kids to give away to their school friends. But the problem with that is that their school does not allow chocolates, treats, anything sugary. So at Christmas we're not allowed to give away candy canes, and at Easter time we're not allowed to give Easter eggs. So I had to think outside the box. So I thought about something crafty that they can give away. So I got a 6-pack of chalk eggs. These were from Big W. I think they're about $5.50 for a 6-punnet of chalk eggs, but Kmart did have them for $4.50, but they were out of stock, and they were out of stock online, so I didn't want to leave it too late for me to be able to put these together. And I did see that Spotlight had some as well, but Kmart was the cheapest one. So I plan to wrap each one up with little bunny ears and with a little Happy Easter note from the kids' names, because obviously that will be different for each class. So I'm just going to start with this, and we'll see how they look. I got some Easter serviettes. So what we're going to need is some Easter chalk. You can even get the empty Easter plastic eggs and fill them with other little things. If your school does let you do treats, fill them with little chocolate eggs. I'll insert a clip here of some things that I found at Kmart. I got these Easter themed serviettes from the Reject Shop. They're about $2, and this is the design that I'm going to use. So what we're going to need to do is open up your serviette, and we're going to fold it in half to create some bunny ears. Like this. And depending on how big the eggs are, let me just have a look at mine because I haven't opened this yet. Awesome. It's quite colourful. They are a little bit marked, so pity that they're not super clean. Maybe I can just wipe that off. Yep, so they're about the size of a normal egg. To be able to bundle them up, I want it to be the same thickness as this base to hug it in, so it's about 1 inch or so.
So I'm going to continue to fold this over and over at about 1 inch thickness, and then when I get to the end I'm going to secure it with a piece of sticky tape so it's clear and not very noticeable.
I'm going to use the part of the serviette that has got the little taped end. I'm going to sit the egg on there, and I'm going to fold up this little bit here, and I'm going to add a little ribbon to it so it looks like little bunny ears. To stop the serviette from tearing, I think I might just add a little snippet of sticky tape to each side, and that way it'll hold it in nice and snug. So then if I package these up into a little Easter basket for the kids to deliver to their friends, the chalk's not going to fall out, and then it's not all going to get damaged and end up looking really messy and unloved.
After I've secured the serviette on each side on an angle with tape so it's nestled in there, I'm going to use some gift wrapping ribbon to tie it off, and I'm going to curl that as well so that'll look really, really cute and sweet. and like a real gift to share with their classmates. These ended up really, really sweet. I'm really happy with how these turned out, and keep watching so I can get the rest of these packaged up. Thank you for watching today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope it inspires you to create a beautiful life on a budget as well. Please subscribe for more budget friendly content. See you in my next video. Bye.